For the best book so far this year, favorite new author is already reaching, like, it literally made me clutch my head and be like, ow! Hello everybody, my name is Christy Marie. I am the 16-year-old author of Break of Day, and this is my first ever time doing a mid-year book freakout tag. Just start off now with like the overall books that I've read so far in 2026. So I have read 42 books so far in 2026, or 41, because I uploaded my stuff from Goodreads over to Storygraph so I could get all like the graphs and stuff for like this video, but it says I read 41 books on Storygraph, even though on Goodreads it said that I read 42 books. So I don't know what happened there. Around like the early 40s range is all you need to know. A little graph here that I made for all the books I read per month. This is a little sneak peek of like what I made. As you can see, it's really branched up, especially in the summertime. So anyways, I'm gonna get on to the tag now. For the best books so far this year, I have not read many like 5-star reads this year. It's been like a pretty mid-year for reading so far. I'm really funny, aren't I? Anyways, I'm gonna count like 4.5 and 4.75 stars just because I don't think I have a single 5-star read yet this year, which is kind of bad, but at the same time, I very sparingly give out 5 stars. One of the really good books I read so far is Revolution by Jennifer Donnelly. This is a chunky hardcover that I read in February, I think, but it is so good. I don't even know like what to really classify it as a genre because it's kind of like historical. It's like kind of about the French Revolution and stuff, but at the same time it's about this girl. I'm just covering up the barcode right here because it's from my library, like I bought it at a library book sale. It's about like this girl and her brother died and she has like a lot of guilt about it, and then she discovers this girl's diary during the French Revolution. It goes over to live with her father in Paris. It's kind of a sad story, but not really. It's just like really, I don't really know how to describe it.
Wow!
But it was really good. It was a 5-star read. I don't think I have a single 5-star read yet this year, which is kind of bad, but at the same time, other book, this one is a 4.5 star, which is Legend by Marie Lu. It's pretty well known, and I think it does deserve all the hype that it's gotten. I mean, I don't think it's as popular now, but it is a super good book. I really loved it, because I know a lot of dystopians, like written in the 2010s and stuff, can be really generic, coming after the Hunger Games, basically just following a trend and not having any depth to them. But I mean, this one was kind of the same. The thing that mostly drawn me in this book is the characters. I love Day and June so much. It's a super good book. I might read the other two sometime. I'm not 100% sure. Some other books that were really good that I don't have with me right now. I mean, I have Anne of Green Gables, which is like a classic. Everybody knows about it basically. I reread it this spring and it was so good. I really loved it so much. I don't know if that really counts as like a favorite book because it's technically a reread. And another book that I really enjoyed was the first book in the Timeless series by Gabrielle Meyer. My friend recommended this to me and it was actually so good, and I can't wait to continue on with the series and stuff, but it's not quite a 5-star read for me. After that huge rant, I'm gonna try to go a little bit more quicker with these sections. The best sequel. So, I feel like I have not read too many sequels. I've read like a lot of standalones so far. I literally just finished Percy Jackson and the Olympians #3 just yesterday, and it was actually so good. Like, that has to be my favorite Percy Jackson book out of the entire series so far, because I still have not read the other two. Even the second Timeless, I would like to say, but I don't think I can really say that because I'm still reading the second Timeless. A new release that I really want to read. First thing that comes to mind is The Escape Game by Marissa Mayer. I love Marissa Mayer so much. She's like one of my favorite authors ever. She wrote The Lunar Chronicles, Renegades, Heartless, and I loved all those books. But except it's more of like a murder mystery type contemporary thriller a little bit. I'm not really too much into that genre that much for me, because I usually read historical fiction and fantasy and like some contemporary and middle grade and stuff like that, and classics. But the next one is the most anticipated release of this year, like upcoming, and I literally did a deep dive on this. I went on Goodreads, I went on like book websites trying to find out like a new release that was coming out in the later half of this year, but seriously, none of them sounded good to me at all. So many new books, they just aren't that good in my opinion. Like for me, I just don't like really new books, especially new fantasy in the YA section, because it all turns out to be like the same story over and over. It's not this year, but it's next year. It's in the summer of 2027. The last Keeper of the Lost Cities book. Keeper of the Lost Cities has been my like absolute favorite book series ever since I was 11 years old. The biggest disappointment the entirety of this year in reading, okay, I'm sorry. So many books that I've read recently have been so mid, not good. Like, I've been rating them 3 stars, 3 stars, 3.5 stars. Like, nothing really stands out to me. For like the second half of this year, I really want to focus on books that are exciting, books that like I really like and really want to like read and stuff, instead of just picking out random books from the library and like them not meaning that much to me at all. If I had to pick an actual book, I would pick The Poison King, which is book 2 of the Impossible Creature series by Catherine Rundell. I love her middle grades so much, like they were so good. I loved Rooftoppers too. And Impossible Creatures was a new release that I absolutely devoured. I loved it so much. It felt like Narnia. Ending the climax was like actually crazy for a middle grade. And the next book after that, I was so hyped to read it. And it just turned out kind of falling flat for me. The other characters I really liked was not there. I did like the other, like the new character, I think it was like a princess or whatever, who was introduced and stuff. I didn't feel like the characters had the same connection that the other ones did, which was super disappointing because Impossible Creatures was so good. Now, the biggest surprise, I've talked about this on my blog, is Sky's End by Mark J. Gregson, I think his name is. This book was actually so surprising. I got it out of the library thinking that I wouldn't really like it that much, that it'd be just kind of another mid book. Like, I was actually so surprised how good the writing was, how good the world building was. This is like a fantasy with like, I forgot what they were called, oh my gosh, but they're like these dragon things. They live up in the sky and these dragon things come to attack them, and basically this one dude, he has like a really bad uncle, and he his uncle is like has captured his sister and stuff, and he has to go, like, basically they become like sky pirates. I like the different like rankings of the pirates and stuff, where you can rank all the way down to be like basically the chore boy, or just go all the way up to be the captain. And like, I just found it to be really interesting, and I really love the characters. The internal conflict was so good. I mean, you know you're a writer when you say the internal conflict is good, because favorite new author is definitely Gabrielle Meyer. I'm so thankful for my friend to recommending her books, because I would have never found her out really, but she wrote the entire Timeless series. I'm pretty sure there's 7 books in that series now. I'm only on book 2, but I really want to read her the rest of the series. And then she has like some more historical fiction, like kind of historical Christian fiction kind of books. But yeah, Gabrielle Meyer is one of my new favorite authors. Also, I would say Rick Riordan, who wrote the Percy Jackson series, but I don't really want to, because more of his newer stuff right now is just a little bit iffy to me. But I did like how he wrote the Percy Jackson books. Again, I'm only on book 3, so, but I would say Gabrielle Meyer is like the answer to this question. Favorite character? Like, so many, I don't remember them because so many books I've read this year. Okay, well, I just have to say the entire cast of characters in Percy Jackson. Like, obviously Percy Jackson himself. Annabeth is such a cool character. I love her so much. Rachel Elizabeth Dare. I know she like comes up in the later books, but she was just introduced, and since I was kind of like in the fandom Pinterest realm a long time, I know basically who all the Percy Jackson characters are already, which is kind of sad. But I also really enjoyed Bryce from Sky's End. She was pretty cool. Oh, and I did mention this before, Day from Legend. The next tag is a book that made me cry. I'm very sad to say that a book did not make me cry so far this year. I am like so good at not crying at books and stuff. Like, whenever I read Heartless, it wasn't that bad. I was mostly frustrated at the main character's mother. I was mostly angry and frustrated, but not sad, which is so strange because in real life, I'm never angry or frustrated. I only like cry. But in books, I mostly get frustrated at the characters rather than cry. Unless a dog dies. A book that made me happy, I'm just gonna have to give it to Percy Jackson, like the entire series so far. Reading those books remind me of me whenever I was like 12, 13, 14, during my like happy little Keeper of the Lost Cities book fandom days on Pinterest. The most beautiful book that I bought. You guys will be actually so happy to know that I have not bought too many books this year. I know, it's actually crazy. But one book that I have bought from the thrift store not too long ago that I really, really like. I think I featured this on my other YouTube video before, but it is Shielded. I did not hear much about this or thinking that the cover looks super cool, and I love the illustration so much. It just looks so pretty. Yeah, I just love books with illustrations like this on them. I love middle grade covers so much because they have like these beautiful illustrations on them. They're just not found on adult or YA books that much. Like, I used to really want to be a book cover illustrator person because, like, for my book, I illustrated this entire thing. I mean, it's not professional, it's not the best, but I'm still pretty proud of it. I realized that art isn't really going to become my career because I like it more as a hobby than a career, but yeah, that's what I really wanted to do whenever I was like 13. The last tag is the books that I want to read by the end of the year, and there is actually so many. One that I can think of right now is the entire Little House on the Prairie series. Now, this is technically going to be a reread because I read them so much when I was younger. These were my literal childhood. I'm still like such a huge fan of the TV show and stuff. The new one I'm a little bit iffy for, but like the 1970s TV show, I low-key just want to make a video on the 1970s TV show and like rank my favorite videos and stuff. The book that I really want to read is The Nightmare Virus by Nadine Brands. I've had this for over a year now, I think. And I definitely need to get to it because Nadine Brands is one of my favorite Christian fantasy authors. I'm pretty sure it's like a dystopian about a nightmare virus. Like, I'm pretty sure, I mean, that's a title, so it better be about the nightmare virus. Other books I've been wanting to read, I'm not going to get them out because that's too much work, guys, but 8 Cousins by Louisa May Alcott. I want to read some more classics like Shirley by Charlotte Bronte and Animal Farm. Speaking of the other books that I want to get into this year, I have discovered something amazing. Technically, I've already known about it, but like I kind of forgot about it until now, until my mom reminded me about it. It's called Hoopla, and it's basically like Libby, if you know what Libby is. You just put your library card in it, and like the books that your library has, you can get free ebooks, free audiobooks. On Hoopla, you could even get like free TV shows and movies and stuff. But I've recently made a whole list of books that I want to read on my ebook or like on my phone and stuff. There are so many good books on here. There's so many like indie published books. Like, for example, The Other World by Abby Emmons is on here. Abby Emmons is like a very known writing YouTuber. Thy Kingdom Come. This is like an indie published book, I'm pretty sure too, because I've seen the author's like YouTube channel around here, and it sounds super good. I'm gonna go through my overall story graph stats right now because I've seen like a lot of other YouTubers do it, and I was like, oh, that's interesting. I might just go on like copy them and stuff and see my reading stats so far this year. For my content, most of the books that I've read are adventurous, emotional, and lighthearted. Only a couple of tense ones, reflective, hopeful, funny. What are the funny books? All the Percy Jackson ones count as funny. What about sad? Oh, One Last Wish. This is like a random book I got from the thrift store. It's all about like kids dying. 43% fast paced, 38% medium paced, and 19% slow paced. What are the books that are considered slow paced? So like the Melanie Dickerson book is considered slow paced, classic. Okay. So the most books that I've read are from 300 to 499 pages. And then I've got 45%, which is less than 300. And then only one book that's more than 500 pages. What is that? Oh, that's Chaos Walking. I've got 98% fiction and 3% nonfiction, which I don't know how that makes 100% because that would be 101% if it's 3% nonfiction. But like, the genres I have mostly read is young adult and middle grade, and then fantasy, historical, romance. I don't read romance books. These are not romance books, bro. I have one mathematics book. Trajectory. Oh my gosh, that book. Trajectory is actually such a good book, except it had so much like advanced calculus math in it that it literally made me clutch my head and be like, I can't do this anymore. I can't. Not after school. It's summertime. I shouldn't be able to read or even look at or think about math. I literally had to go to bed one night because I just saw the math and I was like, I'm not doing this anymore. And after I went to sleep. So my overall review of this reading year, the mid-year book freakout tag. It was a mid-year book freakout tag. That is the end of this mid-year book freakout tag. I hope you enjoyed it and my little funny, snarky, happy, funny comments. I don't even know what I'm saying at this point. I just don't want to do math again, but I know that I'm gonna have to this year because I'm gonna have to. Oh no. Sorry, I just got a little bit of like trauma. That's the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed this little reading wrap up. Oh my gosh. I hope you enjoyed this little reading wrap up for the first half of this year. That's the book that I was, not the book. I just can't talk. I'm leaving now. I'm leaving. Okay, I'm done. Bye guys.